people are starting to kind of get back in that motion. So it's really important to be the expert and giving the information and the advice on why now is a good time to buy and or sell.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the RE Junkies podcast, where we supply your regular fix of all things real estate. Make sure you're the first to get your dose of the RE Junkies podcast by subscribing on your favorite podcasting platform or YouTube. I'm Brooks O'Hearn, joined by my co-host Caten Murphy, and today we are coming at you guys with a little bit different episode. We are going to have a holiday special episode this week to end the year and get everyone started off on the right foot for next year.
You're stuck with just us today, guys. We're going to have some fun.
I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm really excited for this because this is something that is often talked about at the end of the year, and every brokerage, every company has their end of year, planning, and every coaching program has their end of year planning. But it still seems like most agents and most real estate professionals do not actually plan for the upcoming year. We kind of take this Thanksgiving to Christmas time and chill out with family because we don't have anybody telling us, what we need to do, and the market cools off and we just want to kick our feet up. But
I think
we are going to take this a little differently.
I think this is, well, and to your point, I kind of like to think of like December, especially, and the holiday. I kind of walk this fine line and I jump on either side every so often. But I do really like to slow down during the holiday months, but in a different sense. I'm still working with clients and things like that. But I think of December as like the start of the new year, because you really want to start forward thinking about what your next year is going to look like rather than reminiscing on the last year. You kind of want to take both and then implement for what's to come. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And my mom always calls it separation season. I think that's an Ed Milet quote. And it doesn't have to be like this crazy workaholic December. You could separate yourself by, like you said, planning for next year, so you don't start off January 1 completely flat-footed, and you're prepared for that spring selling season, or you're prepared for whatever your hot season is in your business. For years in Denver, our market did not shift in the spring. Our market would open up the week after the Super Bowl. It was directly tied to when the Broncos were eliminated from the playoffs. And so, like I said, for many years, that was right around the Super Bowl. And thank you to Peyton Manning. The key is just understand, where your market is and when that hot season is going to come. So that's part of it. So let's get into some of the things as we're planning for next year. As I mentioned, everybody's got their own way to plan for next year, and I'm not here to say that our way is right or other ways are wrong. I do firmly believe that our way is better than any other way that we've come across because it produces results. And so as you're planning for next year, you made mention of this. You actually have to know what happened in the year prior. So if you have not already, your first action item before planning for next year is to sit down and run your own metrics. Okay? So some common metrics are, I put them into two buckets: leading and lagging metrics. So your leading metrics are things like appointments, leads, marketing hours, marketing dollars, marketing efforts, right? Those metrics that are up front in your business. You don't necessarily tie these directly to a closing or directly to profit, but they lead into that conversation. Then your lagging indicators are things that happen due to what you've done in those leading categories. So, for instance, if you have If you have $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month to spend on your marketing, and you are spending that religiously every month, that is a leading indicator. Then your lagging indicator would be, how many closings is that marketing actually producing? How much profit is that bringing back into the business? Now, the lagging indicator doesn't come without your leading indicators. So lagging are things like closings or profits or um, referrals, things like that. So anything that is at the end of your life cycle in your business, that's a lagging indicator. So I put those into two buckets, but I just mentioned quite a few metrics to track and some things to um, take advantage of and look at in your business. So step number one is take a step back, look at your 2022, and just from a completely objective perspective, what happened this year? Pull the numbers. All right. Then we'll get into step 2, which is determining what what was good, what was bad about this year. Now you may sit down and you may say, okay, I had 10 closings this year. That's more closings than I've had in any year previously. However, I made less money. Okay, why is that? Maybe it's a lower price point. Maybe you had more marketing expenses. Maybe you spent more to get those 10 closings than you did to get the 6 closings you did in 21. Okay. Maybe you're closing 10 deals a month and you've exploded your business, but you have lost your you've lost some personal life. You've lost some other priorities in other areas. Okay. So this is the phase where we just evaluate. Now, this part, I mentioned the first part was completely objective, meaning that's just the numbers, the facts are the facts, the math is the math. The second step is the subjective part. Now, this is completely up to you. You are a business owner. Where do you want to take your business? What do you feel went well? And what do you feel went not well? So, step two is evaluating the the what you liked or disliked about this year. Now, this is going to take some brutal honesty. So for those of you out there are who are maybe feeling like you're not achieving what you want to achieve, this step 2 is going to be big for you to sit down and look yourself in the mirror, so to speak, and really identify, okay, what do I want to do next year? What did I like? What didn't I like? And so that is step 1, step 2. Kate, anything to add so far?
Nope, I think we're good. Keep going, and then I'll jump in with some of the reverse engineering stuff that we like to work with ourselves and some of our agents on.
Perfect, perfect. So we've got step 1 out of the way. That is, track your metrics if you haven't already. Step 2 is analyze those metrics. What went well? What didn't go well? Step number 3 is now where we get into the planning phase. Okay, so now we've been brutally honest with ourselves. We've told ourselves what we liked, what we didn't like within the business in 2022. Now we get to start to look on the outlook of this, and this is why. This is why you have to start this in December, because here we are where all of that effort so far in steps 1 and 2 probably has taken a couple hours. I mean, this is a good, if you're going to dedicate this to yourself as a business owner should, then this is probably going to take a couple hours. So now we're in step 3, and again, now we're planning for next year. So as we plan for next year, it's important to look on the horizon and see, like, what do we have coming up? Okay. For me, um, I don't necessarily just say, okay, I made X amount of money or I had X amount of closings in 1 year. And so now I want to increase that by 10%. My brain has never worked that way. Some people's brains do, and that's totally fine. Mine does not. Mine then looks at, what else could I give myself next year if I achieve this new goal? Or what else is coming up, like a big life event,
You might have
wedding.
one of those coming up.
I might have one of those coming up. Planning a wedding, um, starting a family, or kid going to college, or
Buying
kid
investment
becoming in
properties.
buying investment properties, right? Here I am just listing off all these liabilities. Um, kid going to college, kid getting a driver's license. The I don't have any kids yet, by the way, and here I am planning 18 years down the road.
Kids are on the brain,
Um,
everybody.
yeah, no, they're not. The um, forgot where I was headed with that. Oh,
I'm gonna
assets.
pop in
Okay,
really quick
properties.
before
Yeah,
Brooks
go
goes
ahead.
any further. Two things. One, I probably went 2-ish years in my business without sitting down and doing this at the end of every year. I was just literally flying by the seat of my pants. Um, and I cannot tell you how much of an impact it made when I actually sat down and I broke everything down. You know, how many buyer side transactions I had, how many listing transactions I had, how much time I had to spend with my then boyfriend, now husband, you know, like breaking down all of the things that really encompass your whole life because your business is part of that. Um, it's life changing. And I really, really recommend you do this. And I am not one that likes to dig into the numbers and, you know, break things down. That is so boring to me. And I heard, I think it was Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets said this, and he every whatever we're gonna call it December, I don't know what month it is, sits down and takes himself like to lunch or to dinner in like a really nice fancy restaurant that he really enjoys. You know, it's really pretty, overlooks something. It can just be your favorite place. And he sits down and plans out and does all of this. So it's kind of like an incentive. It's a little like date with yourself, um, to plan your business and reflect on your business. And I think that personally helps me. And so maybe that'll help somebody else too.
Absolutely, I love that. I love that. And actually, I'm gonna uh, take a sidestep here because you mentioned the prioritizing different parts of your life, and so if I can remember this from one of the masterminds that you and I went to, either end of last year or first part of this year, there are 6 categories in your life. Okay, everything can fit into these 6 categories. So there's family, there's relationships, health and fitness, career, spirituality, and then I knew I was going to come off the top of my head and I was going to miss one. Um,
Isn't it like just like it was like personal goals or something?
Personal growth, personal growth.
Growth. Yes.
Yeah, personal growth. So there's 6, okay? Um, Family, relationships, health and fitness, career, spirituality, and personal growth. You in any given quarter or any given year, rate those 1 through 6, okay? And be completely content with rating them 1 through 6 and then focusing on 1 through 3. Focusing like I don't mean forget going to the gym or forget personal growth or whatever it is, or forget your family or anything like that. Um Focus primarily your energy on numbers 1 through 3. All right?
Mhm.
So that's just um a quick little side note for prioritizing parts of your life, because in different seasons of your life, you're going to have different places, different things. You mentioned Joe, your husband, and for me, obviously, these next 6 months before the wedding are very crucial. So, career probably is not going to be able to be number one, but it's got to be up there, right? Like we got to put food on the table. We I want to set everything up for paying for the wedding, for doing all these other things, right? Making sure everything is in order, for those next goals. The so now as we come back to planning for the next year, right? What are the outlooks of some of your big purchases, or what are the outlooks of some things? Maybe you want to plan a bigger vacation. Maybe you want to buy an apartment building. Maybe you want to buy rental properties. Do you want to get into your first short-term rental? Whatever it is, what are those goals that you've written down? And this is where people a lot of times, like, you guys are probably picking up as you're listening, that there are some things within here that every brokerage or every coaching program, every company has you do, but no one ties it all together. And like Caton said, um, she went the first 2 years of her career without ever even doing this, and she was still pretty successful. But now there's measurable growth, and I mean, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I probably should have looked these up before we jumped on this podcast. But it is, I mean, the number of people that don't do goal setting, that they don't even set any kind of goal, let alone like evaluate their year and plan for um, their next year is insane. So um, I was just gonna pull this up on Google and see how many people set goals. Yeah, this is kind of what I thought. Yeah, it's kind of what I thought. 20%. It's the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule. So I mean, if you're one of those people out there listening, you are either the 1 in 5 that is setting goals because you're listening to this, or you're gonna be the 4 in 5 that doesn't and ends up with next year being the exact same as this year. And it's ironic that Caton, you mentioned like those 2 years when you don't look at your goals and you don't track your metrics and your outcomes. um it's ironic how eerily similar the exact next year
Oh
looked.
yeah. You just end up
Like
repeating the same year over and
yeah,
over and over.
it's eerie. It's eerie. So um you'll recognize patterns within your business, within your lifestyle that cause months and months with no checks, or that cause um inconsistent checks. Maybe you close 5 deals in 1 month and no deals the next month. Like anyway, back to excuse me. Pardon me. Back to um our goal setting. So we've got step one, sit down and break down the metrics. Step two, really evaluate those metrics. Where did you succeed? Where did you not succeed? Step number three is um, planning for the next year. And I will put this like step four. It's kind of like a maybe step 3.5, but it does go back to that prioritization of your areas of life. And step four is really designing like, am I happy in what I'm doing? Okay. Am I happy in, like you mentioned, Caton, um, making all these closings if I'm losing out on time with someone else, or if I'm losing out prioritization of something else. And there can be a balance. There can be a balance. Like don't always think that to be more productive or to be more successful, you have to say, I need to be 10% better next year. That's just not true. That's just not true. So um so step four is really like an introspective look of where do you want to go, and how you want to change. Just skip the math. Skip this has nothing to do with math. This is just all about personal happiness, success. What do you want to do in the next year? And this would be where I would really, really take a hard look at your day-to-day activities. Okay, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis that you like or dislike? Now, I'm not here to promise you that every day you can do the things you like. That is a third grade myth that they told you to you know, pick the career that you loved, and, pick the job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. Okay? Work is work, and the work will always be the work, and that's why some people are successful and some people are not. But you get to define success, and you get to define what you want to do and how you want to do it every single day. So if there are marketing campaigns, if you hate picking up the phone and making cold calls, stop doing it. Like, stop doing it. If you absolutely hate driving through neighborhoods and driving for dollars, stop doing it. Let's say you hate showing buyers endless numbers of houses and not making offers. Okay? Either stop doing it or hire a buyer's agent. Like, make the change in your business. And let's use that example right there. What if you hired a buyer's agent that would you could pay 30 or 40%. They will do all the showings. They will do the buyer consultation. They will take every buyer lead from start to finish and or from excuse me, from start to contract. And all they've got to do is make sure that they show the properties. They're always available. They're there, and you pay them 30 or 40%, which is by the way very common. 30 40% on the transaction. Um, what is the quality of your life? Take your buyers, take you want to talk about some metrics? Go back and take the number of buyers that you close, take your buyer commissions, subtract 30% from your net commission, and then add back in all the hours and endless time that you spent with buyers that entire year and tell me if that was worth it. Calculate that per hour. Do that. All right?
I
Do
think
that.
that's a great point. I think it's really important to know your hourly rate. One of the people that I really look up to in business, Amy Gregory, talks about this a lot, and she talks about calculating your hourly rate. And if the things that you're doing are not up to that hourly rate, you need to hire them out. Whether you're getting a virtual assistant that you're paying, you know, minimal dollars an hour to do some of these, like database tasks or cold calling, or social media management, or it is a buyer's agent. I think it's really important to kind of put yourself in perspective to what your money making activities are.
Yeah. Or transaction coordinator. Like
Oh my
things like
gosh, if
that.
you don't have a transaction coordinator, don't get me started. You better
No,
go
it's
get
about to
one
be
in the new year.
2023. Yeah, it is about to be 2023. Like, stop doing the paperwork. Stop uploading documents into your compliance section of your brokerage. Like, go out there and sell another house. It's $400 to hire a transaction coordinator. You know how easy that is? Like, if you don't have a transaction coordinator right now and you're listening to this podcast, you will raise your right hand and make yourself a promise, swear on whatever, put your left hand on the steering wheel if you're listening to this on the way to work, put your left hand on your chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A if you have to, and swear on the Lord's chicken. Like, I will hire a transaction coordinator
Guys,
in
you pay them
2023.
after the transaction's done. So you've already got your commission. There is absolutely no excuse that you should still be doing your own paperwork. Hire a transaction coordinator.
I don't even write them a check. The title company pays them out of the closing. I
Even better.
literally never see the money. I literally do not. It's almost like Monopoly money or Venmo money. I do not ever see that money. Like
That is our task
it.
for you. We're not going to
Yeah,
get on this tangent any further, because there's no discussion. Go get a transaction coordinator and watch how your business levels up.
yeah. So all right, those are the four. Those are the four steps to goal setting, and um, I would if you want to add a fifth to make it a nice round number, not even number, but round number. Um, Add a fifth and sit down and visualize. Okay. Visualize what the next year will look like with these goals, with these changes. Try it on and see how it feels. Okay. Does it make you happier? Does it make you feel better? Does it give you more motivation and more, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like positive outlook, let's call it. Okay. Does it give you good positive like warmth in your belly, or does it give you that like kind of I don't know about it feeling in your belly? By the way, that was like a ooh bad, not a like a squeezing out a fart kind of thing.
Thank you for
Uh
that clarification, Brooks.
yeah, you're welcome.
And
You're
this is
welcome.
why we don't do podcasts by ourselves.
Yeah, because we're getting off on some tangents right now. The anyway,
Wait, I'm gonna
that would be the fifth. Yeah,
before you move off that
visualize. Go ahead.
topic. I was listening to a podcast yesterday from Mel Robbins on manifesting, and I highly recommend it. By the way, and it's manifestation backed by neuroscience. So it's not manifestation as in I want a $10 million beach house and I'm just going to manifest it in my mind until I have it, because that's not really manifesting. The way she talks about it, and I think this would be a really good practice, especially if you're wanting to scale, level up your business, and or make changes, let's say in the way that you're marketing, or you're wanting to build a team or whatever it is. um, She says, yes, you need to manifest, the end result, but you also need to manifest the things along the way and actually doing the work, because your brain can't comprehend the difference between visualizing. Like, she used an example of training for a marathon. So let's say you want to train for the Boston Marathon, you're starting at square one. So you actually have to manifest the steps along the way, like the 5 a.m. alarm clock that's going to go off and you're super tired, you don't feel good, you don't want to get up. You have to manifest putting your shoes on, walking out the door, and running out to go train at 5 a.m. when it's dark and cold and raining. And you have to actually do that practice in your mind. That way, when that moment actually comes, you've already rehearsed it in your head. Your brain thinks you've already been there and done it. So it's a lot easier to go out and do it. So I think that that's really important too for anyone who's trying to build, sustain, grow, whatever you're trying to do in your business, manifesting those points along the way that's going to get you to the end goal of whatever it is that you want to do.
For sure. For sure. That's one reason why we do not believe in affirmations, because your brain sees a completed loop. So if you're just simply visualizing that $10 million beach house, or if you're just simply visualizing the morning of the marathon, and then we tend to only visualize the finish line, basically to prove to our brain that we could do it or that we did it, then that visualization, that manifestation tells your brain, check the box, complete the loop, and your brain's like, all right, cool, we already ran that marathon. All right, no problem. Like or all right, cool, we got the beach house, no problem, right? And then all of a sudden, 6 months down the road, you're like, damn, I really love that beach house. You're on another trip to the beach, and you're like, wow, I really want a beach house. In the back of your mind's like, yo, I thought we did this. Like, what are we doing? Why are we revisiting this? This is done.
Yeah. So it's really important too. And that's why all of these things that we've talked about up until this point are going to really lead you to that manifestation in the proper way of where do I want my business to be next year, because you know where your business was this year. You've done okay, I liked this, I didn't like this. Here's where I want to be next year. We're also going to link. I think it's better for you guys to see it and use it rather than us talk about it on here. We are going to link a success plan that we use both for our businesses, and we do a call with some of our agents within our legacy line too, and we kind of help break down their businesses and goal plan for the next year. It breaks down your average commission, the average sales price, what any caps with your brokerage you might have, what percent buyers versus sellers you have in your business, and all of those things. And it literally spits out, you say, okay, my target take home income next year is this, and it spits out, okay, after taxes, after cap, after whatever, here's your target GCI. And then it breaks down the number of transactions you need, buyer, seller side, all of that. It's a very great, this helped me tremendously, because I like to have goals to, okay, check, check, check. So we're going to link that for you guys. And I highly recommend utilizing that. But also remember, that's only one piece of the puzzle. There's still life that you need to have goals for too, and how your business is going to integrate into your life. So this is a good just numbers perspective for you.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, now I would like to, we touched on marketing ideas a little bit, and holidays are always a great idea for marketing. So, your past clients, I mean, it's perfect time for circle prospecting, guys. Especially if you like your clients better than you like some of your friends or maybe some of your family. Um, Maybe spend a little money on some holiday gifts for your clients this past year, and maybe cut out that weird uncle that you don't like anyway. So don't even get him a gift this year for Christmas. But let's run through, Caten, some ideas, because you are a master at this. um, I saw you giving out your pies on Thanksgiving to your clients, and although Thanksgiving is over, let's discuss some things that we could do for clients in December.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so I've got about 10 different ideas that I just kind of jotted down really quickly. For those of you who don't know what Brooks is talking about, my mom, who's one of my business partner, oh, she is my business partner here in our local real estate team. I'm like, I've got business partners everywhere. Um, we hosted, everyone's like, oh, I don't want to be the typical agent that just gives out pies. But here's the thing, people love pies. And if you give them out before Thanksgiving, that's an easy dish for them to take to their family that also happens to be branded with your information. Um, so we did gourmet pies, and they are phenomenal pies. I don't know that this is a chain everywhere, but if Buttermilk Sky Bakery is anywhere near you, I highly recommend going. So we ordered all of those for clients, and then we hosted a happy hour at a local brewery with apps and drinks. And it was just a chance for everyone to mingle together and then pick up their pie and take it home. So you could do that again. You could do that for Christmas or the holidays as well. It doesn't have to be exclusive to Thanksgiving, but I've got like 10 ideas we're going to run through. Some are paid, some are free, and just fit it into your business however makes sense for you. The first one, which everyone should be doing if you're not already doing, is sending out closing statements for all of the clients that you sold a house to on either side this year. So this one's not very exciting, but it's very, very helpful and super valuable to your clients because they need to get this to their accountant. Um, and it's very helpful to have it all together. So normally what we do is we send the closing statement, and we normally send a letter with it too that says, thank you so much for trusting us, blah, 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 whatever you want to include there. And then we also mention some of the common write-offs associated with moving. So mortgage interest, real estate commissions, points, real estate taxes, mortgage insurance premiums, penalty-free IRA payouts for first-time home buyers, home improvements, energy credits, things like that. It's super easy. It will cost you almost nothing to send out postage, and it's a super valuable way for you to stay in front of your clients, and not a lot of agents do this. So, highly recommend that as the first one. Brooks, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think that's awesome. I mean, I've got some ideas later, but
Yeah.
I think that's awesome for it. It's so practical, and it also eliminates the awkward like phone call or email in April, asking like, "Hey, I need my documents," and you're like, "Oh, shoot. Well, now I got to go digging through and scan it and whatever." Just let them know you're top of mind, and keep it. It's so easy. It's so
Yeah.
easy. Anyway, you're using your closing statements anyway for your taxes as you're getting them done year end, so you might as well just take them out and send them a copy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. One of my second favorite ideas is something that a lot of you are probably already doing. Get out into your local community and highlight and tag on social media some of the holiday things that are going on. I know here in Charlotte, we've got the NASCAR Speedway. They have a big whole light show that people can drive through. The baseball stadium, the Knights Stadium, has a light show. There's a ton of like holiday Christmas bars popping up everywhere. We've got a lot of like little igloo things that you can go have a date night in. So going out, especially if you're already attending these things, take pictures, take videos, and highlight them on social media, and then tag the business or any big accounts within your city. Like we have like Axios Charlotte or Charlotte, 5, which is like a food and drink thing. That way you can kind of get out and in front of the local community. You could also take that one step further and create like a community guide for the holidays. Again, highlighting some of those things and the dates they run or the specific times or what they cost. This positions you as the community expert, and it also is a great resource for clients and the community to have.
Absolutely.
Okay, number 3, client appreciation pop buys. So this can be as inexpensive or expensive as you want it to be. We typically do these a few times a year, normally surrounding holidays. For example, we did one for 4th of July that just had like a couple sparklers, a little bottle of Smirnoff, and a lottery ticket. I think it was like a $1, $2 scratch off lottery ticket. And we had some little catchy slogan on it, and we just dropped it by our clients' houses. It probably cost a couple dollars per thing. You could do holiday, you could mail out holiday recipes. You could compile a holiday playlist, or do like a hot chocolate kit, or cookie cutters and cookie dough. You can buy that really cheap at like the dollar store. I've done ornaments for anyone that I sold a house to within any given year that says like my first home, or, has the address with the year on it. You could do a holiday wrapping kit, like a wrapping paper, and just tie your business card to it or something like that. There's a bunch. If you check out Pinterest, I guarantee you'll have pages and pages and pages of holiday pop by ideas. So again, that one you can kind of tailor towards your budget, but it's a good way to stay top of mind. And you can even include the closing statement with that if you wanted to.
I mean, Pinterest, Etsy, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, guys, at this point, everybody's putting stuff out there.
Yeah.
I mean, gift guides are literally just at your fingertips. So go for it. Look for it.
There is a company that will do it for you too. I think it's called Market Dwellings. We'll post a link down below that you guys can utilize as well. And I think they'll put things together for you, and all you would have to do is ship it out. So if you want to go that route, then we'll give that for you too. Another one, I saw a lot of people do this for Halloween and pumpkin carving contest. Just host a virtual contest of some sort. You could do a recipe contest with your favorite holiday recipe, and then you could create a book of recipes from everything that was submitted and send it out to your clients. Branded by you, so it always stays in their house. You could do a holiday lights and decorations contest, and you could share the winner, or give them a gift card to your favorite restaurant or something like that. You could do a gingerbread decorating contest. This is great for kids, and you could even supply the kits. I literally saw kits at, I think it was like Walmart the other day, for a couple dollars. So you can supply those. That could be a pop by, and then you could hold a contest and again have some sort of prize depending on your budget for that. But it's a great way to just kind of get especially your online, your social community, people who might not be clients yet, or family and friends involved with you.
Absolutely.
I don't even know what number we're on, but the next one I had was organize a holiday donation drop off. There's a ton of really great local charities around all of the cities, and there's a ton of people in need for the holidays. So being the one that can organize that across your clients and community is a really great way to give back to the community, and also stay in touch with your clients as well, and kind of all be part of this bigger effort.
And I think one thing to notice here is like um some of these are very different ideas, and that will fit different personalities, that will fit different businesses, and will also fit different sizes of businesses. Like some of these have been, for a little bit smaller agents. If you're doing 10 deals a year, some of these, if you're doing 100 deals a year, if you're a big team that does 500 deals a year, like you could easily knock out maybe 2 of these ideas, 3 of these ideas, right? And then maybe 500 deals a year, it doesn't make sense to pop by with a gift to 500 houses in your local area, even if you have 10 agents. You know what I'm saying? Like, so take some of these and just put them, size them to fit your business. But these are all just to get your wheels turning.
Absolutely. I think I've got just a few more. So this one is pretty easy, straightforward, but hosting a holiday open house at your listing, if you've got listings right now, or even if you've got an agent within your brokerage, or an agent that would let you hold an open house at one of their listings. I think homes always show better during the holidays because they've got the lights and the trees and the decorations, and it just feels homier. So you could even, you could brand this as photos with Santa. You could bring in a Santa, and that'll get people in the door. Or you could host cookies or whatever it is. But holding a holiday themed open house, I think, will get more people in the door. And your
Absolutely.
sellers are going to think that you're absolutely fantastic for marketing and bringing in a bigger crowd.
Mhm.
Similar along the lines of what I talked about, we did with our pies, sponsor a holiday happy hour, just a small client appreciation event where people can stop by, grab a drink. You could also, I've seen a lot of, especially breweries, at least here, I don't know if this is a thing in Denver, hosting like Christmas markets or holiday markets. See if you can get a booth for, 500 bucks or whatever it costs to get a booth, and just, we always like to, when we get a booth, we have like a little wheel where you can turn to win like a koozie or a gift card or something like that. But just getting your face out there and kind of getting the brand recognition and being able to have conversations with people who are walking through, maybe you offer a free home valuation report or a market update or whatever it is. But again, just getting your name out there and being out in the local community. Okay, two more. I see the bottom of the list. Educating on why winter is a good time to sell. This doesn't cost you anything. You're probably doing this anyway. So just being consistent and supplying good information. I saw that Entrepreneur magazine, I think it was a couple of Christmases ago, put an article out that said that many of the industry experts agree that the weeks before and after the new year are prime times to invest in a residential property, because people are making a lot of life altering decisions around the holidays, and sellers always want to start the new year knowing where they're going to move, which makes them willing to negotiate new terms, which we're already seeing a lot of in our markets anyway. I also saw that January and February are when the search term, like buying a home or something around those words, peaks. So people are starting to kind of get back in that motion. So it's really important to be the expert and giving the information and the advice on why now is a good time to buy and or sell.
First of the year, everybody's thinking about their New Year's resolutions, and
Hmm.
all your buyers want to get out there and buy.
Hmm. Absolutely. And then the last thing I have, and this is kind of a forward thinking thing, but planning post holiday classes and workshops and really just kind of events that you're going to hold in the new year. So, maybe it's a buying or selling a home workshop or a class to kind of, again, position yourself as an expert. Or maybe it's teaming up with a tax lawyer or CPA to teach a class about, real estate tax benefits before taxes are due, or joining forces with, some sort of 1031 facilitator to teach about capital gains tax deferment, whatever it is. Think about a class that you could potentially hold, at least one. And I've seen a lot of value in holding these, both for myself and for the people who attend. So I highly recommend at least implementing one of those a year, if not more.
The other thing too is depending on your business, and that you want to find the right fit for this, but depending on your business and things, what else happens the first of the year? Everybody's out getting CE credits, and you can very easily jump in with a with another CE course, like someone who's teaching it. They can teach their class from 11 to noon. You can, let's say, supply lunch from 12 to 1, and also then you have the captive audience to share with all these other agents what you do, who you are, and here are some tips that ideally would be right alongside, um, right alongside the CE class that was just taught. So some of the things that are coming to mind, like, for me, we bought two properties this year as investment properties, and they ended up having meth contamination. So I know there are always CE classes about meth remediation and mold, meth, and asbestos, maybe. I can't remember what the third one is. Anyway, very easily could go in and share experiences with other agents, teach them, hey, this is what happened, this was the case study, and you have a captive group of 30 or 40 agents who now see you as the local agent who is the expert in that particular industry or that particular case study. So um, those are some things to add in. Kate, did you finish your list?
I did.
Perfect. That's what I thought. So I'm gonna add a couple in here as well. For me, there are only three major cities that do this right now. But see if your city has something maybe like this. Caton, you mentioned a restaurant gift card. Well, the thing that I do for especially my good friends is the something called the dining out passbook. Now it's 2 for 1 entree special. So buy one, get one free entrees and buy one, get one free drinks at like 75 or more restaurants. I mean,
Oh,
there's
cool.
probably close to 100 restaurants in Denver. Now they're in Denver, Phoenix, or Atlanta right now, this particular one. And this is not an affiliate plug for them. I just like them. And my fiance and I love using this book. So, instead of just a quick gift card for the same price, I mean, it's $50 for this dining out passbook for the same price that you might get for a gift card for dinner for your clients would be a pretty much a year's supply of dinners, or at least dining out. And again, it's buy one get one free entrees, but every local area is probably going to have something like this, maybe a frequent buyer card or heck, talk to if you know any high school kids with winter sports. This is another good one. If they're playing
Mhm.
winter sports, go buy some of those local cards. You're supporting the local sports team, and then give those out. They all come with discounts and free dinners at all kinds of restaurants. Some of those restaurants are like Sonic and Chick-fil-A, but other restaurants are a little nicer in your local area, your malls and things like that. But um, I mean, for again, pick your clientele and see what value that would bring to them. If it's a family that's always driving through Chick-fil-A, okay, get them a card that gets them some free Chick-fil-A. Like, hey. Another thing is the we have in Colorado we have a something called Avid Golfer Passport, right? I'm a big golfer, so a lot of my friends tend to be big golfers. So what's a very easy $50 Christmas gift for them? For a former client is a golf passbook where they either get free green fees at different places or they get highly reduced green fees. Again, you're giving them a gift that every single time they pull that out of their pocket and go play golf or go out to dinner, it is branded with you, or and not necessarily these you can't custom brand. You might stick a label or a little book cover on them for for them so they always think of you. But these are the things that are super simple, right? Super, super simple. So then you get 4 or 5 different times of them going out, and it's a super easy gift. So just some things like your gifts don't have to be extravagant. They don't have to be crazy, and you don't have to put a lot of thought into them. Just, I mean, everybody likes dinner. Everybody likes going out for drinks with friends, even if it's a non-alcoholic drink with a friend. We're still going out for drinks with friends. So, um, some simple ideas here. We'll post a quick list of these so um, you guys can get these going. Now, as we talk about that, a few things to keep in mind. We will probably, well, I mean, we'll definitely have these up on our RE Junkies website as that comes live next year, and we'll start putting more resources out there. So for those of you listening, keep that in mind, and we will start putting resources from every episode out onto our website, and then you can have those tons of free downloads, and make sure you tell your friends.
Please.
and and actually, yeah, you could give the gift of the RE Junkies podcast to one of your fellow agents who might need it. Um, that would be a totally applicable gift. Just send them an episode. It's free, and share it with them. But seriously, guys, thank you very much for this great almost first season of the podcast. We're not really doing seasons, but it's kind of turned into a nice little season so far to end the year. We've had a ton of support, and you guys are awesome. The numbers of followers and the numbers of listeners every single week continues to grow, and has absolutely just floored us from what we thought this would be. So You guys keep tuning in. We love it. And we are going to wish every one of you guys a very happy holiday season.
And let us know what you want to hear in the new year too. What do you guys want? Who do you want to talk to? What do you want to learn about? Because ultimately, we're here for you, and we learn a lot on each episode as well. So let us know what you want to hear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us today, guys. If you like this week's dose of the RE Junkies podcast, please subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. If you have a crazy real estate story or a great case study, click the submission link in the show notes to be featured in a future episode. Submissions can remain anonymous if you want. We'll catch you junkies next time on the only real estate podcast of its kind.